And we're back. All right, let's get into the top gaming news of the last few weeks. Let's start with our lead story, CES, right? It just happened. And not a lot of video game related stories come from CES. I think I know before there was E3, we used to get video game announcements at CES. And
they were the only game in town, really.
It was the only thing in town. Right. We got a look at the Xbox with The Rock, right? The original Xbox that was at CES. People think that was at E3. That was at CES.
Right.
I think it was like in 99 or 2000.
Yeah,
so,
and there was all that weird MTV stuff, right? They were all kind of tied into that.
Yeah. So it's always a little sprinkle of stuff. We got the PS5 logo at CES.
Oh yeah, it broke the internet. Wow, everybody. Wow, everyone was over the moon about they changed a 4 to a 5. That graphic designer had a very easy week. He said, guys, I got it. They went into the boardroom. Boom, PS5. Man's a genius.
So
$1 million.
They did it again.
I know.
They did it again. We have officially announced with the logo the PlayStation VR 2. But we did get the controllers, right? They're called PlayStation VR 2 Sense controllers.
Yep.
So the next generation for VR gaming for PS5. And this thing sort of seems to be like a beast, right? Like if you look at the specs for this next gen, like this thing is not going to be cheap.
It is very comparable to what is out there now. I think in a lot of cases it's better than what's out there now in the PC space, where the OG one was kind of the budget VR headset. They were just getting into it. All the PC ones were better with the exception of a few. This is this is going to be like top dog. I feel like it's going to be pricey. We didn't get the price on it, but we can kind of go over some of the specifics. I guess we could just jump into it, right? Because
just jump into the specs.
Okay, so we got it's 4K, HDR support, OLED display, right? The OG one
had an OLED, right?
It did. Surprisingly, out of everything else that was kind of cut to keep the price of it down, they did have an OLED display, which is awesome. 110 degree field of view, which is very comparable, if not exactly the same as the high-end PC ones. I think the index is like 109, so it's like right in there. Foveated Rendering, which is a little bit new to me, this tech, but basically it'll track your eyes. And, if you're playing let's say Death Stranding or whatever, and you're looking at the mountains ahead of you, it'll render those in full resolution and all that. The things to the side, and especially the things behind you, either won't render or render in a lower resolution because you're not really looking at it. So it doesn't need to be in high res. So that'll definitely save on a lot of computation time.
That's what Death Stranding 2 is going to be. It's going to be a VR game. And we're going to be literally delivering packages in VR. That's what we're going to be doing.
That's actually a question I want to ask. Do you think a lot of these games that are out now will get VR versions with PSVR 2?
Well,
an update.
I don't know about an update. Maybe newer games coming out, right? Will be. Be. I mean, it's like they did it with the Wipeout Omega collection. I know, but we said VR. But we said it last generation, right? You get the Switch version if you want the portable aspect of it. You get the Xbox version if you want the best looking, the best that it can run, best it can look. And you get the PlayStation version because you want the VR, you want to get the VR support, right?
Yeah.
So I think future games can run that. But yeah, I was just, you said Death Stranding. And I was like, that would be.
I think they may do an update for the previous version. I bet they'll do an update too.
Death Stranding 2. We are the FedEx.
We
are the UPS messenger.
I mean, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. So some other stats to it, because it's 4K, each eye gets 2000 by 2040 resolution, which is amazing. Frame rates either 90 or 120 hertz, which is what they're kind of shooting for, which is awesome. Headset-based controller tracking, or headset-based tracking. So it doesn't use cameras anymore. There's no room sense. There's no eye toy. There's no camera that is needed in this case. It'll use inside out tracking. So it's basically like where you are, and then sensors inside the machine will kind of calculate. And which could be the most controversial thing is the thing's gonna vibrate. It's gonna go burr when certain things happen in certain games.
It's going to give you a headache. That's what it's going to do. It's going to give you a headache.
They got to be careful with this, right? Because VR already causes nausea, headaches. You can only play it for a certain amount of time for a lot of people, right? It doesn't really bother me. I could be in that thing all day, but I get it. It's very like, oh my God, I have to take a break. So I feel like it's going to be pretty like low powered vibration, but I think it'll be cool, like if you pick up a weapon and it's like you swing it at something and it hits a rock, and like you get a little bit of a vibration in like the headset, or you get like hit with a bullet or something, you kind of feel it. Like that could be kind of cool.
I think this is a feature I hope that you can be able to turn off. Right?
I bet.
Settings. I hope so.
100%, yeah. Because I don't think a lot of people are going to be about it.
If you're playing a first person shooter, the last thing I want is, to be getting hit with bullets, random bullets and my head is rattling.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm not going to want that.
Yeah, it could definitely be a little bit much. So
yeah.
It also has headset support, so you can like plug in a headset like you could with the other one, and it is not wireless. We know now
it's only one wire,
single cord. Yeah, single
USB-C, USB-C. I think yeah. So one wire,
which is I think the best we can ask for right now. I would love to have completely wireless, charging station and all that. That would be amazing, but at least this won't be a breakout box, 29 HDMI cables, 39 USB cables to charge the damn thing, and just, all sorts of mess. So very, very happy about that. But
what announcement? What announcement for new hardware can go without the software?
That's right.
And we got a glimpse of a new game, Horizon Call of the Mountain, a new Horizon game, which is kind of crazy, but it kind of makes sense because that's a beautiful world, right?
It is.
And it looks like it's a first person view, and you get to see the whole.
I think it has to be, yeah.
Yeah, and you get to see the whole landscaping, right? Like, and you get to see the long neck dinosaur. Like that's crazy. Now you're not playing as Aloy, who's the main protagonist in the mainline games, but apparently she's in the game somehow, and that's all they gave us. They didn't give us any more.
So it'll be like a side story to the main game, which will be cool. I don't think it'll be, full on 60-hour adventure like the original is, but it'll be a good piece to kind of sell you on the hardware and say, look, here's something, here's a AAA game that you can play now that'll be like out when the system launches. So now, do you think, here's the big question, is this a 2022 or a 2023 release? That's the question.
I think they want it to be a 2022, but they even mentioned it sort of, I think it was like maybe an interview at IGN or something like that, where, the chip shortages this should be the last year of chip shortages.
Right. Yeah.
Hopefully by early next year, late this year, early next year, they can get that under control. They really want to because this is a PS5 only system. This is not something that you can play with your PS4. They need to get PS5s in hands of more people and not scalpers for, because, you look at the specs, this is maybe just as expensive as a PS5, right?
It's going to be minimum $500. Yeah, I can guarantee you, because this is just as good, if not better, than the Valve Index, which is one of the best ones out there.
So they need to get more PS5s out in the hands of people. So
well,
I think this
you're not wrong, because you can't use it standalone. You need a $400 to $500 PS5.
So I think this could be. I kind of want this to be a 2023 thing. Maybe earlier in the year, like maybe just like the Switch came out like in March of like 2017, right? Like maybe we could do that. Maybe that can we can have this in like March of 2023.
Right. But if that's the case, and I agree with you on the chip shortage, you know, it affects everything, right? It's obviously going to affect the production of the PS5s and all that. Why wouldn't they wait till E3 and make a big splash at E3? Because now we know, like, oh my God, we have all of this. So all they can really show at E3 is the price, which will be big, and here's some more games that are coming out.
I'll tell you why. I can tell. That's easy. That's easy. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Because Sony is not at E3. They never go to E3.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they do their own thing. They always have a conference. Just because they're not at that particular day and date in Los Angeles, they do their own thing.
They can wait. They can wait till whenever to do a big promotion for whatever product they want to do.
Well, I mean, how are you gonna get the news cycle around that time? Because everyone's going to be talking about all the other stuff that came out around E3, you know, and PS5 is going to be like, here's the PSVR 2. So we saw that already.
Maybe promote the PSVR 2 at the Game Awards, like in December of next year, and it's saying it's coming out in first quarter of 2023.
Yeah, I mean, it is a big conference, you know. You're right. They haven't done E3 in the last 2 years. But I don't know. I would have. I mean, I love that the info's out, but I think because they put it out now, which is me assuming that it's going to come out like for the holiday 2022 this year. I bet you.
I certainly think they'll try. Mm-hmm. I certainly think they'll try. Mm-hmm. But if we are the same way now, then as far as PS5s just can't stay in stock. You can't get them in stock in stores.
Right.
It's just so hard to see them actually try to put this out at the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, I gotta start production
you need
soon.
You need PS5s to play this.
I know.
And they want this to sell well, don't they?
They do. I mean, obviously they do. Yeah. So, the original one sold pretty well, but this one they want. I mean, they would love a 1-to-1 attach rate. They would love 100% attach rate on this, but if they can get 60-70% of the gaming market, like I would consider that a success.
I would say if they could sell like 2-3 million, that would be great too. Like because the original one is about I think 3 million to date, maybe 4 million. I could be off, but that's still not a big attach rate, you know, because it's over 110 million sold.
Right, it's less than 10%, I think. Yeah, which is not great.
Yeah. But Sony is always innovative, right? Mm-hmm. Like I always love that about Sony. They always try to innovate, right? I love the PS5 is big, but it looks like a tower. But they're trying to be innovative and futuristic.
Mm-hmm. It looks like a man in a collared suit. Look, I can see it back there, Jen. It's a man in a collared suit.
I want to know. I can't wait to see how the PSVR 2 looks, right? Because Sony is always known for, you know, how their products look, right? Even going all the way back to the Walkman. Oh, it's always, you know, stylish and stuff. So I want to know what the headset looks like.
Sure.
So